and the lab is solved. So we're able to close the lab here, and so let's move on to the next lab, which is multi-step flow without access control. The referrer. Okay, two more and we can close the access control and then move to the two more labs. It's okay. You can read through it, go through it, try to understand more about it. And now we will talk about injection attacks, which is 20% of the attack surface. Okay, like untrusted data interpreted as executable code in virus context. Okay, so we have different types of injection attack. SQL injection modifies database queries via input. OS command injection executes some system commands. Template injection executes code in template engines, and this one. But SQL is like the most common one. Okay, so we go deep here in the theory. SQL injection is a mechanism application concatenates user input into a SQL query without parameterization. Okay, application concatenates user input into a SQL query without parameterization. Okay, so let's say this is the original query. If you know SQL, like select asterisks from users where username equals to input. Okay, so an attacker can just type inside the username this command, this call it this one, or 1 equals to 1, this return all rows. Why this works is because if an attack this one will be inside here, right? Any input, user input, is going to be inside here. So if he puts this closing tag here, it's going to close, right? That's it. So username is empty, and then it's going to put or here, or 1 equals to 1. This is going to be true, right? 1 is equals to 1. So we are saying give me all the list of rows if 1 is equals to 1, right? 1 is equals to 1, so it's going to be true. So it's going to give me all the list of rows here. This is what we did. We're manipulating the SQL query. Okay, we have union based, also concatenates columns with other tables. Blind SQL, no output but conditional command section. So okay, so we have different attack vectors. We have different attack vectors. Vulnerable parameters in URL, forms, immediate database response, stored, injected data saved in database, executed on subsequent queries, single quote triggers SQL error, error based, reveals database structure, time based, sleep page. Okay, so real world impact is the real world impact of SQL injection is vulnerability is like data exfiltration. Exfiltration is when you dump username and password email, like when you extract data from the server. Okay, when you get like all the usernames and passwords, emails from the server. You can bypass authentication also, like using this command I told you, like bypass login, database take over. You can modify the database, drop tables, do whatever you want in the database. Write web shells if permission. Escalation to RAC, remote command, execute system command via DB functions. No, before moving to XSS, let's practice SQL injection, just so we can understand like how it works. Okay, I'm not going to go deep in each one because I don't think we need to. We'll have a separate session for labs. We're going to try to cover do a lot of labs on the next session. But right now the focus is just the theory. try to understand the theory, and I will do some basic labs just for the sake of understanding the concept. Okay. Allowing retrieval of hidden. Yeah, let's do this one. SQL injection vulnerability allowing login bypass. Okay. This lab contains SQL injection that in the login function. To solve the lab, perform SQL injection that logs into the application as administrator user. Okay, this is very easy. So we're going to do it. No, let's do it in the. Actually, I prefer to do it in this one so that we can see the. Yeah, as I said, yeah, you need to focus on understanding the concepts on this session, and we will do as many labs as possible on the next session for all the attacks, even advanced labs we're going to do. But let's just try to understand it. Focus on understanding how each attack works first. This SQL injection allowing login bypass. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Okay. Logs in the application as administrator user. Okay, we're going to use the same. First, we are going to check. Usually, to confirm that this is vulnerable to SQL injection, we just type colon here, tag here, quote here. This one is not going to show us, but let me show you another full hub. Not full hub. Just there is this website. Okay, it's vulnerable to all the attacks by default. So let's say we want to confirm that this go to category, go to poster or something. Yeah. So I want to make sure this is actually vulnerable to SQL injection. What will I do? I just put a single quote here and see what it gives me. See, it's giving me you have an error in SQL syntax. Check the manual that responds to your MySQL version. Whether I syntax to use this one. So this is proof that there is a SQL injection vulnerability here. Okay, but let's go ahead and try to do this. Okay, we just want to access the administrator log into administrator bypass login. Okay, I'm going to do the single quote here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to close here. Okay, I'm going to do 1 is equals to 1. Let's see what happens. Give me internal server error. Let's see what was the. I'm supposed to put this down, I think, in the password. Let me see if it will work. No. Oh, okay. I understand. It's this one you're supposed to put actually here to put any password here. Done. I just logged in with as an administrator and finished the lab. Okay, do you see what I did now? I just was able to bypass the login, okay, by using this command, this or equals to 1 is equals to 1 and close. So this is what it did. It was able to bypass this one. Now I'm an administrator. That's how SQL injection works. And let's move on. Again, the labs, we're going to go through each one later on. We have different types of SQL injection attacks. We have reflected, is the one that I just did. Vulnerable parameters in the URL or form. Immediate database response. This is reflected. Okay, what we just did. If you get a response immediately. Stored is injected data saved in the database. Executed on subsequent queries. Stored is different. Okay, maybe they will store it inside the comment section or something. Okay. Yeah, that's what we can do. We can do lob. We can have a look on reflected. If we have a lab here, we're just trying to understand the concept here. So let me show you the reflected and stored difference here. We have subverting application logic, retrieving hidden data. Yeah, just know that we have it's not going to show me stored here. Stored. Yeah. Let me just talk about the difference between stored versus reflected, but SQL. Injection, not CSS. This is actually reflected for the cross-site. Yeah, this is for cross-site. So before moving, so we already completed 2 attacks by now. Okay, IDOR and SQL injection. At least the basics of SQL injection, so we understand how it works. And there is a way to secure it using parameterization. Okay, let me show you here a SQL query here. Parameterized queries. I will show you why it's actually more secure. Okay, so let me give you one example. Query versus I can just show you here like why it happens. Yeah, see this one, because you are allowing access to user to enter the input directly to the database, to the SQL, to access the SQL command, the query. Okay, what does parameterization do? It just puts something else here, placeholder, something, question mark, something. Okay, doesn't allow user or attacker to access the SQL query directly. Okay, that's the number one way to secure parameterized query SQL injection. I want to show you something here, but Yeah, no, I want to show you how it works actually. I'm going to start a session on yeah, we're going to do the test vuln hub, and we're going to practice SQL injection, union-based SQL injection, and try to dump database from this one. Also, we're going to use the tool SQL map. It's a way to automate scanning for find SQL injection vulnerabilities. Yeah, so first I'm just going to talk about the theory, then we're going to move to the labs. Okay. SQL injection is one of the most critical widespread vulnerabilities in web application. And yes, we are going to go ahead and yeah. So we already went through the theory part. Okay, I'm going to talk about union-based SQL injection. So we've talked about, like, first we have to find an injection point. Injection point is somewhere, like, for example, if I go to artist, that is considered an injection point. Okay. In order to confirm that this actually is vulnerable to SQL injection, we can just put a single quote here. Yeah, this will tell us that if we get an error like this, this means that this is vulnerable to SQL injection. Okay. And the next step is that we need to determine the number of columns. Okay, the number of columns, we can first, let's start with the poster. Okay, we will use this one. So let's say we want to use the union operator. It's essential to know how many columns are in order to return. So we need to know the number of columns. To do that, we just have to add this use order by to check. Like, for example, we can type here order by 11. So still, it's you're not getting error. If you're not getting error, that means there is more than 11. Order by 12. Yeah, we got an error here. So just so you can understand, so now this tells us that there are only 11 columns available in this section, this page. So yeah, that's why we use the order by command. We can try like we can start with 10 or 5 like this. You can play around with it. Like, if it gives an error, like we could, if we go like 10 here, that means we have 10 columns. If we go here 11, that means still it's more than 11. We keep incrementing the number until we get an error. Once we get an error, then we understand that we have this much columns in the page. Okay. So once we understand all this column, so we want to determine which column are displayed on the web page. Okay, we will use this command. is going to use this one. So we have 11 columns, right? We understand we have 11 columns. So we just want to paste this. So check this will, we're using union select 1 2 3 4 5 6 11 columns. So to determine which column we can use to display our information. So if a specific number such as 2 7 9 are shown on the page, it indicates this are the column read. So this is what happened. Okay, so now we know that we can use the column 7, 2 and 9 here to display sensitive information. Okay, we cannot use the other columns because only 2, 7, 9 are showing here. So what we will do is actually extract database information, for example. So we're going to use this command. We're going to make this command. Okay, we'll use union here. Select 1. In place of 2, we will put user. User displays the database username. Okay, this is a SQL command. It displays the username. 3, 4, 5, 6. In place of 7, we're going to put database. This command. This actually reveals current database name. In place of 9, we're going to put the version. Okay, so we can know which version this MySQL server is. So let's paste this one and see. We got an error because we didn't put the dash at the end. Yeah. So as you can see, we got the version here. I mean the user accurate. We got the user here, and we got the database name, the version actually. This is the version. This is the database name, accurate. So we extracted. Now we know we have more information about the database. Okay. So once we get this information, now we need more. Like we want to list all the databases. Okay. What we will do is union select 1 schema name, and information schema. So basically what we are going to do, okay, we're going to try to list all the databases, the tables in specific databases, the columns in this specific table. Then once we reach the column, then we're going to dump all the user credentials on those columns, the table. That's the goal, to get all the credentials users from this table. Okay, so first list all databases. We can use this command. Okay, you can regarding about this schemata. This one is actually MySQL's syntax. Like, 1 second, let me show you. We have syntax here. 1 second, SQL injection. SQL injection database sheet. Yeah, I think we can find it here. We have a cheat sheet here. Yeah. Yeah, this one I think. No, 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 not yeah. This one. Okay, since we are using MySQL, we're just going to use MySQL here. MySQL. Uh, let's say now we want to know the let's say table name, table 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 name. Yeah, we have schema object names. Yes, we've got here. Maybe we'll find something here. No. Naming conventions. Yes. No. We're going to find it. Yeah, this is. I'm not sure exactly where we can find this one, but let's see. Yes. Yeah, we can search using this one. Actually, this is a reference manual. Okay, it's going to tell us the syntax. Information schema is where we can find the list of databases, and this one. Okay, like if we want a list of table in specific database, or we can use this one. Like you can use this command because we already have that one. We just use information schema dot tables, where table schema equals to this one. We can just use this command to get specific table. Okay, if you add this one now, remove this one and paste this one, we got an error because actually this is fine because we have table name. 1 second. Control B. Let's just put one space here, and that's it. So as you can see, we got the users here. Okay, this is telling me the table name. Table name is users. Okay, because we just selected here and we put the table name, and in the place of table name we got user here. Okay, so this is to list the table from a specific database. To list the column on the specific table, you can just, now since we have the table name, we just have to use table name equals to users, and this is supposed to list the columns. Just remove this one, remove this one, Control V, and paste it here. And yeah, we got cart here, but the columns, actually we're supposed to list the column name for the table user, so there must be some mistake here. So let's paste this one, but paste this one again. It's showing cart here. Okay, let's just continue and see what we get. No, actually it's displaying the name here. This is the username, this is the password, this is the CC, this is the address, this is the email, this is the name. These are all the columns inside the user table. Okay. Now dump user credentials. If the table user exists, contains name and password column, execute. Okay, so this command, we just use this one to dump user credentials because we already have the name. No, we already have the column name. So which is name and password, right? We already have the password. So all we have to do now is just dump it. And paste, put space here. No, something happened here. 1 second. No, let's just remove this one. Something's off here. Let's just copy this one. Okay. Remove this one. Paste it here. Check if it's all okay here. Yeah, it's fine. So let's add it. Yeah, it's not showing here, so there must be an issue. But you got the idea. Like, yeah, you have to understand. You have to try to understand the steps what we did here. Okay, there is a way to. There is a tool that will automate this process for you. Okay, but the idea is like. What we did first, the first step was we identified an injection point, like this one. Then we used single quote to test if this application is vulnerable to SQL injection or not. Then we determined the number of columns. How many columns does this page have? And then we also checked which columns can we actually use to expose sensitive information. Okay, and displayed on the last column, so 7 to 9. So we use this one. Then we started to extract database information. We did that using the built-in MySQL commands. User database version. We put it on the fields that display information, and we got the information. Once we got the database information, now we move on to advanced data extraction, which is listing all the databases. This is the tables in specific database. We want the tables. We use this command from the table name to get it from schema, and then we got the columns for this table, and we dumped all the user credentials from this table once we got the columns. So basically that's the process of the union-based SQL injection. Okay, and we need to understand also, like, these are the types of SQL injection. Error-based approach rely on visible error messages returned from the database. This error-based SQL injection is like when we put single quote on the URL, we got an error. Then we identified that this is vulnerable to SQL injection. So it's the same thing because we got an error. Union-based is what we did now. Combines the result of the original query with the result of the crafted malicious query. Retrieve data from other table. We can use this command to retrieve data from other table. Blind SQL injection. In some application, error messages are suppressed. Okay. In such case, attacker rely on observing subtle changes in application behavior based on true or false condition. Rejected payloads called blind. SQL injection is further categorized into Boolean-based, time-based, or out-of-bounds. This rare advanced technique rely on database making external requests. So blind SQL injection does not show you any errors, so you will not be able to know whether to make decisions. You'll have to see the response, different types of response. Like, for example, you could get a true or false response. Okay, like that's how you can identify it. This is very rare. And now we need to see the SQL map. Actually, it's a tool that's used for SQL injection. Let me see what we have here. Clear this one. So I'm going to use SQL map, and let's use the help so we can see what are the options available. And we have U for the URL, target URL, and we have what else we have that we can use? DBMS forces backend DBMS to provided value. And tables, if we want to enumerate tables, you can use this command. If you want to enumerate database, you use this command. If you want columns, you use this command. And if you want schema, dump all DBMS table entirety, or dump some table entries. So this is the same thing that we did here manually. We're going to do it using the tool because it's much simpler. So I'm just going to do this one. I'm going to use let me just clear this for now. Okay, and make this widescreen, and I'm going to use SQL map -u, and I'm going to just remove this first, and Control C, Control V. Yeah, I just pasted the injection point, and then what I will do is type DBS, because right now the first step is to collect the database information. So I'm going to use this one. Let's see what happens. It will ask us. I just type yes here. You want to include all tests extending. Yeah. So the first question is: it looks like your backend DBMS is MySQL. It has identified that my backend DBMS is MySQL. So it's asking us: do you want to skip the test payload specific for other DBMS? Yes, of course. Just want to focus on MySQL. For the remaining tests, do you want to include all tests for MySQL extending provided? Yes, here as well. So you just have to wait. It's going to test all the possible. But I'm going to pause it because this might take time actually. So actually we just got an output here. This is the end result. It's saying the backend DBMS is MySQL, and fetching database name we got accurate, okay, and information schema. Okay, we got this database names. Okay, see, this is much easier than the other one. So now once we get the database name, the next step was actually table name, right? So we'll move the table here, but let's just refresh on the commands here. We have tables here to enumerate tables, and then to, columns for columns, and dump all. But I think let's try it out. If it will take time, then we can just skip it. Yeah, this was fast because see, it just gave me the list of all the tables here. Okay, these are all the tables available in your yeah, these are the tables in the accurate. We have artist, cards, category, featured, users. We're interested in users, right? So we are going to go ahead for to find the columns. Now once we have the tables, now we need to focus on the columns. We'll put the columns, but we have to specify the table as well, I think. Database table to enumerate. So I think we're going to use this command, -t. Let's go ahead and try it out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and type here -t. I'm going to say users because this is the table that I want to enumerate, and I'm going to say dash dash columns because this is what I want to know. I want to get, right, we need the columns now, so I just type columns here, columns, because if you check here, this one, columns, to enumerate database tables. So let's go ahead and try it out. Done. So we just got the columns. Okay, you can see here the name, the address, the card, the email, the pass, the phone, all this, right? So now we got the column. We want to dump the user and password. So I just type the column here, use the command -c, and type here name. And see, I'm not familiar of the commands we have here in the enumerate. Dump all database entries. We have db table to enumerate, and there is a command that we can use to enumerate all, to dump all. Let's see dump all. Let's use dump all and see what happens. Let's just use the name, and no need to specify you specified the table. Let's see what will dump all give us. You want to store the hash temporary? Yeah, fine. Yeah, fine. It's actually cracking. So this was the idea. So it's going to list for me the users and password, but let's go ahead and see where exactly how we can dump the username and password. We can put the column name, which is the name, and dump. But this is only going to list the names. But the password, okay, let's go ahead and try it anyways. Okay, let's do this last command. We will specify the C here. I'm going to mention the name. It was name, right? Let's go back to see the. It was name actually. Yes, correct. No, it was uname. We want the username, uname. So we should focus on uname. Uname. So let's just put dump. No need to put dump all, and this we should give us all the usernames. Yeah, we just got the usernames here, uname and test. And no, I got only one entry. Anyhow, let's see the password. The pass. Let's see if we can get the password. I get one entry. Let's see if we can. No, we are trying to do this with the table user, right? But the database, we have to mention the database as well. Let's see the syntax here. Yeah, we gotta mention this part, the awkward, because the table name, the here awkward, so it's familiar with the database. Again, it's same, the awkward is the database, the table, the column, and I think it's storing it in CSV. So there's only one in awkward database. Okay, so is the column, view name, all artists, table. Okay, no problem. Let's try to change the table, because the table or the user. I think we need to change the database. Let's see. We are using awkward for the name. No, the user is fine. Just the database. It's actually we can use artist, or this is the tables. Table is users. Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's the I think we got the correct password, because actually the username and password is test for this one. We can have a look at it like this. If you go like here, login. No, it's actually login.php, I think. Yeah, here, see, it's telling you please use the username test and password test. So we already got the username and password, so it's correct. So so we just finished both. We just finished SQL injection. So that was the point of SQL injection. Thank you for this one. This is a good example here. Okay, so this is like it's taking the username, okay, from the form. It's taking the password from the form, putting it in a variable called username and password. Okay, first. Then it's going the query. It's putting select asterisk from user where username user.username equals to question mark. Okay, and user.password equals to question mark. This is parameterization. Okay, then I'm going to prepare the query. Okay, and then I'm going to bind the param s username s password. Okay, so now we can get the results. So this prevents SQL injection attack. Let me do it through JavaScript. Parameterized query through JavaScript. Yeah, this one, I think. No, this is still not parameterized. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's not actually showing here, but it's okay. We are going to practice it in the lab later on. So let's move on to the next attack, which is cross-site scripting. Cross-site scripting, it's injects malicious JavaScript into web pages, okay, in victim's browser. So we have different cross-site executed in victim browser. Reflected inject malicious JavaScript into web pages executed in victim's browser. So we have different. We have reflected script in URL parameters executed immediately. Stored script saved in the database affects all users viewing that page. DOM-based pure client-side JavaScript manipulation of page. Mutation XSS React works in element clobbering bypass. So we need to understand what exactly is. To understand cross-site scripting, we have to understand what's JavaScript and how it works. If you don't know JavaScript or how it works, it's very hard for you to understand this one. Okay, so it is an attack that uses the script command, okay, to in the URL or parameter on the body and execute it immediately. This reflected. Store it on a database affects viewed. Like, this is the theory. Like, browser treats injected strings as legitimate code. Okay, let's say this is the script command used in JavaScript. Okay, you type alert document.cookie script. Okay, and data URI like href alert click me. Yeah, still cookie impact session user data. So these are ways to bypass if there is any attack, if there is any like security done on the application. You can bypass it by manipulating the word script, like putting some letters uppercase, other lowercase, and URL encoding, like you can encode it, avoid simple string, and you can like mutate it, like put SCR for example here, put script inside, put filter removes, if there is filters, like it removes script, leaves script. Okay, so HTML entity encoding, we have this one, literal text by victim. So let's just see how it works first. XSS. I'm going to use test ball here just so we can understand what it is, what it works, what it does. Let's see if it's vulnerable to XSS. Instead of opening here, so let's go ahead and try the labs here. Let's check the labs XSS. We'll do one or two labs here so we can understand what exactly is cross-site scripting. Reflected SSS in HTML with nothing encoded. Yeah, we're going to use alert command. Yeah, that's fine, just so we can understand what exactly it does. So reflect XSS into HTML. Let's just copy this one. No, yeah. Context with nothing encoded. Let's see if we can actually do something here. Script alert one script. Yeah, I was able to display one here on the browser, right? So I think this will solve the issue. The lab is solved, right? So this is what we did. We just used this command, this script, okay, and we tried to. This is a basic reflected XSS. We were able to run a script, JavaScript script here, okay, and display on the browser. Inject the browser. This is a vulnerability by Burp. So if you want to know what script, the script is basically just a code used to encapsulate, like you to put to write JavaScript code. In order to write any JavaScript code, you have to put it inside the script tag. Okay, it's a tag that's used to encapsulate here. You can put this alert one is a JavaScript code. Okay. If you learned JavaScript, you'll understand that this command allows you to pop up a tab here. Okay. So let me just go to JavaScript. Okay, script tag. So you are familiar with the tag here. Yeah. So HTML script tag is actually used to put for JavaScript. Okay, this is when you want to write any JavaScript code, it has to be inside script. Okay, script tag is a tag used to embed client-side script JavaScript. Script element either contains scripting statement, it points to or external state. So that's the way to where hackers manipulate this. Okay, so that's what it does actually. We have different here. We can use script, or you can use image source also and run alert. It doesn't have to be script. You can use event handlers here, like you can use this command, image source equals to x on error equals to alert 1. You can use data URL, like here ahref equals to JavaScript, this one. Okay, so web application actually have filters that detects these things set up. Okay, that's why we have bypass techniques here, filter bypass techniques. Like you can put one letter uppercase, one lowercase, mix the case of letters, and you can also encode the script, and you can mutate it, like put a script inside the script. And yeah, for example, filter remove this one, still you have script, right? HTML entity encoding, all this are methods to bypass XSS attack. Okay, but we have multiple different types of XSS. This is reflected XSS, reflected on the browser, on the client side, right? This stored XSS, it's different. It's basically you're going to put this alert inside the comment section, okay? And anyone who views this post or blog, they're going to be affected. Okay, let's try this one. Yeah, lab stored XSS in HTML context with nothing to do. So yeah, so this is the command. Enter the following in the comment box. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do it actually. Let's do this lab. Okay, let's take a few minutes. So we're going to we're going to do this one, XSS. We did that one. We just want to show you the stored XSS. Okay, let's go to view post here, any post. Burp suite community, because the Burp suite is off, maybe. Now let's open it again. So I'm going to leave a comment here. I'm going to use the same script tag here, and I'm just going to try alert, and just put my name or whatever. Yeah, just post a comment here. Put any email. No, I prefer to put any like normal email here, and post wanted. Okay, so www.ecorp.com. Now let's match the requested format. This is a website, right? So what exactly is the requested format? One second. Let's see if it will allow us. Yeah, it's okay. Let me just log in to fix the internet, and let me cancel this connection. Let me disable the firewall also, just because it's actually interfering with the lab. Disable this one, and let's go ahead and open it again. I'm just going to post anything here, anyone here. I'm just going to do the script alert. This is called stored XSS. Okay, just type a comment or type blog or something, and anyone who visited this page is going to be infected. Let's just put any here. Okay, I think it's not going to accept this format, so it must be it needs this one, HTTP. Yeah, let's just put this one. Done. So the comment has been submitted. Back to the blog, and go to home, and see if it actually works. Let me refresh it, and actually it's not showing. Okay, you have to actually click this one. No, let me go ahead and try to add. Go home here and try to add somewhere else, like here. Let's just put script and alert script, and put any name here, any email, and any website. Let's just put this one there and comment. Okay, I think I'm not closing the script properly. 1 second. Let's choose anything here. Let me try to do it one more time. Let me do it in a here, the comment. I'm going to put script alert 1 and close script here. So this one should work. Let's put the same email. Done. Congratulations, your lab is successful. So you see, when I go back to the lab, it's taking me to the when I visited this page, the blog page, I received this alert. This is what we call by stored stored XSS. So we have one more type of XSS. I think we should at least try one more so we can understand exactly what it is. DOM-based cross-site is DOM XSS. Analyze when application contains some client code, JavaScript that processes data from untrusted source in an unsafe way. To the DOM, let's see here, see what it did. Search document.get element by ID. Search value. This is going to get the value that you type inside the search field. Put it inside search, and this is the result. Put it inside the results. Then, and I'm going to use inner HTML. You search for this. I'm going to display the search here, the value of search here on the client side using inner HTML. If attacker can control the value of the input field, they can easily construct a manager that goes on like the input field should be populated from part of HTTP. Okay, so let us go ahead and do DOM-based scripting. Typically allows them to hijack other users' account. So I want to test actually one more. We're going to use this one. See all the DOM-based labs. The lab contains DOM-based cross-site script vulnerability in the search query tracking functionality. It uses JavaScript document.write function, which writes data out to the page. Okay. The document write function is called the data from location search, which you can control using the website URL. So we're just going to go through this lab, try to solve it. So we're going to search anything here, like TDHE, okay, just to see what it will output. It's outputting this one. Okay, if we go to inspect here, okay, and we go to this one, yeah, the search term is actually inside here. Okay, you can manipulate like here anything. Yeah, so it's actually here. Okay, so what we will do is like we will try to close this one with double quote. Okay, we're going to use this one. We're going to close this one. Okay, here it's using the image code. We're going to close the image tag. We're going to open SVG and load alert1, okay, inside here. So let's see what happens. It's just displayed alert. The lab is done. So basically we're just manipulating the, yeah, that's how we're using document write sync using source location search. Okay, so these are the main issue, and we will talk about this in depth actually on the next session. And it's time to move to the next session. Authentication failure. So authentication failure is a weakness in login, session management, credential attacks. Weak password policies, no complexity, no multi-factor authentication, session fixation, like same session ID before and after login. JWT vulnerability. Weak password, algorithm, weak secret missing. So basically what this is, authentication failure. Okay, we're going to go with JWT, authentication common flows. Okay, JWT is used for authentication. Okay, and the JWT token contains an algorithm. It contains the encryption, the public H2, and it contains secret and expiration also, and the claim. Okay, so in order for us to understand JWT, let me show you. I think I already have an open browser. No, I removed it. So I'm not sure where I can find a JWT token here, but let's see. JWT debugger. This one. So this is a JWT. This is a website that's used to check the JWT string. So this is what I got for this user. Okay, the user. This is the payload. It has 3 sections. Okay, it has the issue, the issuer, expiry, and the administrator. And it has the algorithm, just using RS256. You can choose anyone, and we can use also none. None means there is no encryption. Okay, so this is how a JWT token gets looks like. Okay, so just understand that it contains 3 things. Algorithm, this is signature verification. If the algorithm is none, that means no signature verification needed. Vulnerable for attacks. Okay, you have to set algorithm has to be set like HS256 or any other algorithm. This HS256 with public key. Use public cert with HMAC secret. Weak secret. What was possible, John? Okay, actually we should use strong secret as well. If it is weak, it can be brute forced. Expiration is important. All tokens remain valid indefinitely. If you don't put any expiration on the tokens, it's going to be valid forever, and this is wrong. Tamper with claim, like you can change the user ID, role, permission in the payload. Like these are the authentication flows. Like here we have admin, right? I can just change this one, put it like it was before, which is RS. I think it was RS here. Like it says administrator here, right? I can just change it, make it me. Okay, and I was able to change the issuer, the expiration date also. I can change here. Mentioned on it will expire in 18 hours. I can do whatever I want here, right? Because I'm using RS256. That HS256, I don't think it will allow you to do that, or it will allow you also to do it here. But the signature verification, okay, if you put here none, that means it's not checking the signature. See, it's less now, right? This is because it's adding this last part is actually for signature verification. Okay, the middle part is for the payload, and the first part is for the So let's see. Let's put none here. Okay, no algorithm. So these are the common things that you need to know about this. So if yeah, these are the issues that we can face in JWT. Authentication bypass methods, we have password reset flow, abuse, like we can put we have null or empty password field, OTP reuse, and we have race conditions, sending multiple requests simultaneously, bypass checks. We have parameter pollution, password equals to wrong, password equals to correct, servers differ, path reversal, token reuse, all token different accounts still works. So before moving on, let's just see authentication bypass, okay, how it works, and just try to understand the do one or two labs just so we can understand what exactly it is talking about. 12F token. Just type JWT. So we're going to go through this one so we can understand. This is a beginner lab. This lab uses JWT based mechanism for handling sessions due to implementation flow. The server doesn't verify the signature of any JWT that it receives. To solve the lab, modify the session token to gain access to admin panel at -admin, and then delete Carlos. So let's go ahead and do that. So we just want to bypass, okay, just want to access /admin here, okay, to gain your to the admin panel at this delete Carlos. Okay, I think for this lab we need to log in using Winer so we can see how exactly it will display the heater. And once we yeah, so let's open Burp suite. Go to proxy history here. Yeah, actually this is what happened. The reason it's showing green here for me is because I'm actually using an extension called JWT editor to allow me to edit JWT. You can install it using go to extension here and go to B App Store. This is JWT. You can search here or you can find it on the top here, JWT editor, and install. Okay, this will allow you to play with the token, edit, play around with the token. Okay, so this is the one that we just logged in. Okay, this is the JWT token. Okay, so what you need to do is send to repeater here and just highlight this one. Okay, and yeah, highlight this one and we go to inspector. Yeah, here, see what it did. There's it created a JSON web token. Here we have a tab here. This will come only after you install the JWT editor extension. So here we have different tabs. This is the JWT token. You have the algorithm here. It's using RS-256. You have the kit here, and you have the payload here. It's saying sub. And you have here the expiry date and the issue, right? So what we need to do, we can modify as needed from here. Okay, but we go, what's the lab objective? We are supposed to The lab uses JWT based mechanism for handling session. Due to implementation flow, the server doesn't verify signatures of any JWT that it receives. So the server does not verify signatures. Solve this lab, modify the session token to gain access to admin panel, and delete the user Carlos. So I can do one thing here, like I can try to change Winer to type administrator. Okay, see what happens. Administrator. I think it's going to and I'm going to change this one, make it /admin. Admin. Okay, because we want to access this path, right? Admin. And send. We just got this one. And yeah, we got the admin panel here. Okay, just so you are clear, I can delete Carlos from here. Let me open Burp suite here and open this one. I refresh this one because I should have admin access here. But that's actually okay. So just understand what I did here. Okay, I can delete Carlos from here. Why? Because I just modified the token, the JWT token. I changed it from Winer, mine user, to administrator user, just by changing the name. And then it changed the token, and I changed the path to admin. Okay, same thing, I just pasted. Now I have access to the page, I can delete. Okay. Yeah, so if you open, like for example, I can show you how it is done. Like we can take this token. This is administrator token, right? So let's use proxy here. Okay, proxy targets. Intercept. Do this again. Yeah, so this is the session. I just changed this one, paste it here. Yeah, and just slash this one, admin. And when I click forward, I should have access to the admin panel. Forward and forward. Intercept is off. Now I have the access to admin panel. I delete Carlos, and the lab is done. Yeah, that is because yeah, but that's the idea. Okay, JWT token. So there is a site you can use to identify. You can use token dev. I prefer this site actually. You have JWT.io also, but token dev also allows you to edit the JWT token. So let me just paste it here. Paste it here, and see, you have administrator here. So that's the idea of authentication. And we have authentication bypass method, like password reset, flow abuse, race condition, parameter use, token reuse. Yeah, all this we are going to talk about it in detail. Right now it's good that you understand how the basics, okay, like the key concepts. Okay, in the next session we're going to go deep on each topic. Okay, so just so you know what we are doing. Security misconfiguration, we have exposed debug endpoint. We have default credentials, insecure default configuration, unnecessary services, missing security headers. Yeah, this is what security misconfiguration is. Okay, we have, like, for example, /admin, /swagger JSON, and yeah, this could give us many information. Default credentials, admin, still in production. S3 buckets with the world readable permissions, missing headers like XSS, CSP, as yeah, it's content type options. So cloud S3 bucket SELs. So just so we know what's S3. S3 is like storage, a cloud storage for our AWS. Okay, that's what S3 is. Okay, if you go AWS S3 or this one, it's an object cloud object storage, amount of data from anywhere. It's simple object storage offering industry scalability, availability to store, manage. You can store anything here. It's like a bucket. Okay. So why is it a security risk? Because default configuration allows anyone to access S3 buckets. Public read. It will be public read write links data. You know, this permission, you have to manually change the SEL to let it like secure it. The S3 bucket, you have to put proper SEL. That's why it's this kind of this considered this configuration, because people usually just create S3 bucket and leave do not change the permission or the SEL, and that's why anyone can access it. Open security group port SSH 3306, MongoDB, IAM role assumption, assume role without multi-factor authentication, unencrypted snapshots, expose key in code, yeah, git repo, NV file, yeah, sometimes the developer might leave the API keys or codes or passwords in the env file or somewhere in the git repo. So we have one more here, supply chain failures, vulnerabilities and dependencies. First, let's see where we are now. This is supply chain failure. This is a vulnerability in dependencies, libraries, and CI/CD pipeline. So basically, what this is like, you know, when you, like, if you're a programmer, you will understand this. Like when you work in the code, like you install libraries, right? That will help you do some facilitate your code or something, like it has some function. So on these libraries, okay, there could be a vulnerability when you install a library. So this is what supply chain failure means. Okay. You have to make sure that your libraries and frameworks are actually up to date, and make sure that some attacks are there. And this is advanced topic, but let's just cover it quickly, and we'll go in details on the next session. So this API security flows. What's API? API is like application programming interface. It's used to interface between two different applications, like front end, like between two different applications, or even in the same application but different frameworks or technology. Will allow you to communicate, allows them to communicate with each other. Okay, like for example, the security flow for APIs, okay, set for we have a common attack called mass assignment. Okay, this one set forbidden fields via JSON role admin. Mass assignment is like, let's say I have an application, okay, and web application. Okay, I'm just a normal user. Okay, I logged in as a normal user. Let's say I have the ability to manipulate the role. Here I can change the role to admin myself. Okay, and get privileges, admin privileges. Okay, this is what mass assignment. This happens when there is no validation on the backend, on the server side. okay, or client side. So it allows on the client side, it allows user to add this stuff. Okay, GraphQL is also an API. It helps introspection. Introspection means this is a command. Introspection means, let's say, like we have an application using GraphQL. Okay, we have two types of APIs, many types of APIs, but the main point are REST API and GraphQL, right? Let's say someone is using GraphQL. GraphQL has a command called query schema. Okay, if the attacker can use it to see all the tables and database structure, and it will reveal the entire API. Okay, that's introspection. This is actually an issue in GraphQL. We have batch attacks, like 100+ queries in single request, bypass rate limiting. Okay, you can batch GraphQL, like you can make many requests in just one request, bypass rate limiting. API endpoint enumeration, you can get the API missing rate limiting. And before moving on, let's just see. Now this is advanced topics. Actually, we need to have a look at it on the next session. Just go through it, have an idea, like look around, study it. We'll use JavaScript object prototype, RCE. This prototype, all object inherit bulleted, WebSocket, missions, secret disclosure. This is like API keys, database, private keys linked to multiple event vectors and stuff. Git repo, we said like you can get information from GitHub or GitHub developers by mistake. Maybe they will leave the password or details of the Git committed there. And errors, and this stuff we have vulnerabilities, severity, ranking. We have critical. Most critical vulnerability is remote code execution. This means like you have full access on the server and you can download as much data as you need. High, partial access. You have access but not full. Medium, you have information. You can leaked information. We have unauthenticated, authenticated, admin only, multiple user affected, bounty. Okay, scoping, CVCS scoring. We have critical, immediate exploitation, RCE, full system compromise. Okay, high, significant impact, data breach. Modern. You just have to understand this one, go through it, and it's for reporting and stuff. Okay, I think we need to close this subject because we need to go to on the next session we need to discuss advanced concepts of each. So now we're going to try to play around with a tool called Nuclei. Actually, I remember the spelling of nuclei. What was it? I think this is it. Nuclei. So this is a very important tool, actually, and it's a tool that automates vulnerability scanning. Okay, so basically this tool is going to, let's see first of all how many. It's going to scan and find vulnerabilities. It contains templates. Okay, it's going to find vulnerabilities. Let's read something about it. It's a very important tool. And nuclei. tool. This is the tool actually. Nuclei is a modern high-performance vulnerability scanner. Leverages a simple YAML-based templates. It empowers you to design custom vulnerability detection scenarios that mimics real-world conditions. So it's a vulnerability scanner. You can install it with this command. This will help. This for help. And you can, if you have a single target, you can use this command. If you have a list, if you want to scan multiple targets, you can use nuclei-list URLs. And this is for network scan, for open ports and misconfigured services. If you have a custom template, you can use this command. But let's start with Nuclei. Okay, but first time you are going to use it, you should actually update Nuclei. There's a command to update Nuclei here. Update. You should update Nuclei. Update the templates, not Nuclei. You're going to update the templates. Nuclei. Update template. There's one command that's used to update this one. Nuclei update templates. You have to always run this command because it's going to update to the latest Nuclei templates. So once it's updated, we're going to scan test Vuln website. So update will take time, so I'm going to pause this video. Yeah, so it's just updated now. As you can see, it's showing you this is the total added modified vulnerabilities. So now once you have done this, now we will go target here. You can type the full target or you just keep it T. It's up to you. But I'm going to test it on this website. This one. I'm going to paste it here. And there are more options here we can use. Okay. So the main options that we can, like here, this is the target. Actually, we can use -u, not dash target. We can use -u. And we can use like if we have a custom template, we can specify it. We can output optimization, update, critical, run Nuclei on symbol, example, single list, host. Yeah, let's try to use targets, no problem. Let's see if it will work. Yeah. So yeah, this is what we are going to do. This is what we will scan, and there is options also, like we can try. It's going to take time, so let's check nuclei options. There are more than one options you can use, actually, not just nuclei. So let's deep dive on nuclei options. The key options we need. Let's just go to this /t-t. You can add this one if you want to, if you have a path to a template or a directory. -t to filter template. You can use this one, severity. Like you can add, like you can only filter by high or critical search. Like you can add it here. We can add here severity, and we can mention here high. It only show the high critical. U or target, you can use as needed. List, we said this if you have more, a list of URL, and output to save the results. Basically that's the main things that we need to know about nuclei. And thank you for watching. See you on the next session.